Got the upper denture and the lower QSO back from the lab. Let's take them out, check them out. So here's the final finished upper denture. And here's the finished lower denture with the Q-Seal gaskets. All right, so at this point in time, what I like to do is I just take my finger, a little hard with gloves on, but I just feel around, especially the inside, make sure there's no rough spots. There's no sharp little bits of acrylic that the lab might have missed when they were making these and finishing them off. That one feels pretty good. Let's see up on top. Again, just want to make sure there's nothing too sharp that's going to irritate the patient. Right here, some of the ridges. This one, right in the center, a little sharp. And if I can feel it through the rubber gloves, it's definitely going to feel sharp to the patient. And then I think there was another one right here, right there. I don't think you can see it on the video. It's not going to come across very well. It's hard, not that easy to see in real life too, but I can feel it there. So I'm just going to take a burr and just kind of zip those down. So one here, round that off, another little edge there. Everything else feels okay. So those 3 spots there, I'm just gonna maybe up in here too. All right, let me get a handpiece and acrylic burr and we'll trim those down. Okay. I just have an acrylic burr in my straight handpiece. So we're just gonna zip down those couple spots. Just wanna kinda, not removing a whole lot of material, just rounding those places that felt a little sharp to my finger. Just rounding over those places that felt a little sharp to my finger. Another one up in here. Okay, got them all. Just rinse these off and these will be ready for delivery when the patient comes in. So next, what I like to do when we try these in is I'll try them in. I'll use a little bit of pressure indicating paste on the inside of the denture. Make sure there's no spots that are a little too tight, because I'd rather head them off earlier. We'll try that in, make sure it fits well. We'll check the bite, adjust the bite as needed. Lower, we'll do the same thing, pressure indicating paste on the inside. Sometime with the lower though, the gaskets, when they make it at the lab, they end up being a little bit too tight, so we might have to trim those in a couple spots. Sometimes you can trim those with the burr on a handpiece. Sometimes, depending on how much, if it's only a tiny bit I need to shave off, I'll actually use a scalpel, a nice sharp scalpel blade, kind of like an X-Acto knife, to get in there and trim it a tiny bit. So I have the patient back to try in, and now this is where all those little steps we did along the way come to a head. If everything went well from the beginning, the delivery visits should be pretty simple. First, I'm trying in the lower Q-Seal, and it popped right in. Next, I'm putting in the upper, and what I'm doing with the upper, I'm just trying them in, just without anything, just asking them how it feels, how the bite feels, is it balanced side to side. Not that I don't believe them, but I check, and with some articulating paper just to make sure that the bite is very even side to side. Now, this person too, this is his, I believe, 3rd set of upper denture and lower Q-Seal that I've made for him over the past 16, 17 years. So he's pretty good at this. and he's just pointing out that he is feeling something on the top left-hand side. So I'm asking him to point, trying to figure out exactly where it's rubbing. Is it too long? Is it on the inside? He mentions he thinks it's on the inside. So what I'm going to do is use some pressure as indicating paste inside the denture. So I have Mizzy's brand of pressure indicating paste. I'll leave a link to that down in the description. You don't need to use that brand. You can use the generic brand. In dental school, I had a professor told me he used to make his own pressure indicating paste. I think he just used some Crisco and he mixed in some cornstarch. Basically, you just put it on the inside of the denture. You want to take a nice even coat all the way around, and then once it's spread out all over the inside of the denture, then you will put the denture back in and have the patient move their mouth around, do whatever they needed to do that they noticed, where they notice that denture digging in. I actually enjoy denture visits because I get to talk to the patient for quite a bit. We get to know each other quite a bit with all the visits and then all the adjustment visits afterwards. Not that there's that many adjustment visits. So just making sure I got every part of the denture covered, just in case there's something that patient doesn't notice at this point. We're just trying to head off any sore spots. Although at the delivery visit, I don't like adjusting too much because everything's new. Everything feels different to the patient. It's like having a brand new pair of shoes. You don't know, and you got to get used to them. And there I forgot to show you guys the close-up look of the pressure indicating paste on the inside of the denture. So I'll put the denture in. I'll ask the patient to move their lips around, move their mouth around, bite, talk, move everything around just to try to get it to feel that sore spot. And then for good measure, I'll go back in and put extra pressure on the denture. Now sometimes too, the patient will tell me that with the cream in there, it feels much better. So now, when I took it out, I did notice a couple spots where basically the paste just gets pushed out of the way. So you can see pink acrylic where the denture is rubbing too hard. So I'm just going to, with my denture acrylic burr in a straight hand piece, I'm just going to adjust it, basically grind those spots away a little bit. Once I do that, then I'm going to take some more pressure indicating paste and recover those places, try it in again, and just to see how it feels for the patient. So now we got it all spread out and covered, and in we go again. Again, I'll seat it, make sure it's up all the way. Got a decent suction. We had really good suction on the impressionment, so I was confident we were going to have good suction with the final denture. So, and again, just have the patient move their mouths around, talk, all this stuff. This is things that they're going to do in their real life, and if we can try to head off some of those sore spots or any issues, we do it now. There's been times I even gave people some cotton rolls to chew on to kind of mimic the feel of eating on something, that having biting pressure on it. With this person, again, he's been through this process a few times. He's very good at it, so he's used to wearing dentures. So again, I just wanted to adjust it a little bit more in those spots. I still saw a couple spots where the paste was moved a little thin, and so I just adjusted those. And then next, we're just going to clean up. I'm just removing all the paste. I'm just taking some 2x2 gauze, dry. The pressure indicating paste comes with a cleaner that you can spray on the gauze, but I find most of the time just a dry piece of gauze, wipe it out, another couple clean pieces. The stuff comes out pretty well. You don't have to really use that solvent unless there's a little bit gets stuck in a nook and cranny, and we just wipe it all from inside so that it's dry again on the inside. That way the patient can tell me how it feels. Okay, now it's all cleaned out. We pop it back in and we try it in. And he says, it's telling me it feels much, much better. So at this point, he's told me the upper feels good, lower feels good. We're just going to leave it as is, and I'll see him for adjustments as needed. Again, first day delivery, I don't like to adjust any more than I have to. So if it only needs a little bit, we'll just do a little bit. And then here's the close-up so you can see how it looks. So it's full upper denture, lower Q-seal denture, and you can see where a patient's natural teeth are. They're kind of out of position. They've actually moved over the years. So that one tooth that's sticking out towards his lip used to be a lot closer in. So now he gets to go home and try them and wear them. I was actually surprised. Here we are 17 years later, and he still has all those teeth. I thought they would only last him a couple years. That's why I made him a lower Q-seal denture. So thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video.